Hello everyone and welcome back to another Canary Central video, and let's just say a disappointing opener up against West Brom in the first game of the Championship's season. And well, I think we were all kind of stunned in terms of that performance. The hype was there from the start, and we looked practically dominant for the start of the game. I mean, especially from the first half. Many balls were put into the box, very confident. Oscar Schwartau looking much better in that left wing position compared to what he was up against NK Dons. Ben Cristani having probably one of the better games that he's had in a Norwich City shirt so far. And well, the expectation was there for Norwich City to go ahead and batter West Brom the same way that we did up against NK Dons. And well, that didn't really seem to happen. I mean, there's a lot of confidence in terms of some of the players that we have seen today in terms of Paris Magoma, Harry Darling, Callum Fisher, etc. And speaking of Callum Fisher, a very big surprise to see him back in the starting 11, especially with him being rumoured not just to go to Hull City, but also the fact that he looked to be practically injured for the coming 6 weeks and practically almost out for all of August. But seemingly he's recovered very, very fast and taking back that position that Jack Stacey took alongside for the game up against NK Dons, looking quite confident when he was playing up against them. But Callum Fisher taking that spot, not looking as confident, but obviously we're having that idea that obviously he's slowly getting back into things. But a very sharp comeback for him, and to be fair, he looked all right, but not really as good enough as he has seemingly had in the previous couple of games that he did play before his injury. And to be fair, yes, the pre-season games didn't really show that we were confident enough when it comes to be in terms of possession on the ball, and we did face some quite high quality sides, and we were able to beat the likes of Fulham. Yes, they had a bit more of a rotated squad, but up against a team like West Brom, I'm very, very surprised. Yes, they've got a new manager in. Yes, that they were unbeaten during pre-season, and yes, some of the players that they have brought in are fantastic. And with some even with some of their players actually going as well, one of them, I can't remember his name, but he went to Derby County, limiting their sort of quality in terms of that sort of area. And to be fair, I thought it was sort of in the cards for us, but it seemingly was not the case. Felipe Clement's tactics, well, I mean, obviously you're not going to win every game, but they were quite abysmal towards the second half, and we didn't look as dominant on the ball in terms of it whatsoever. Motore struggled, it seems. Same with sort of Paris Magoma. Yes, he had a very influential part in terms of that display at Carrow Road, but nothing very prominent from most of the players on the pitch. And yeah, I mean, there was a very confident, strong lineup that was brought out today. And Vlan Kovacevic, yes, he really did sort of try and get that ball out of the back of the net, but it just didn't work. And we're the same old Norwich as we've always been. I'm trying to stay not as negative, but there is a lot of negative comments you can definitely notice about the game. We definitely do not look strong enough defensively. Yes, we have the quality of centre-backs such as Harry Darling and Jose Cordova. That pairing didn't really work as much today, and to be fair, we just couldn't get the system flowing as we did up against MK Dons. Yes, I think there was a lot of expectation in terms of us winning up against West Brom, but it's just led us to just not hit the ground running at the start of the season. And we just do it every single time, it seems. We lost to Millwall on the opening day under the Liam Manning era. I'm not saying that Felipe Clement is Liam Manning at all by any means. He is far from that. But it just seems to be that we seem to lose on the opening day every single time. We let that expectation get to us, and we just can't seem to do it, which is so frustrating. And it's one of those where I'm like, oh, come on, man. It wasn't the best display I think I've ever seen as a Norwich City supporter, but to be fair, if we can go into the Millwall game and look a lot more confident than we did in today's game, then I think we could do well. But Millwall are a much more tougher side than us, and yeah, it's not one of the best starts I think we've had. I mean, when Matthias Kvisgården came on for Motore, he looked fantastic. Yes, scoring that goal, but not enough to seal anything in the bag. And after that 75th minute, we looked dry, really dry, and that led to that second goal. And we looked very frustrated, and we just kept being very, very sloppy when it came to us being on the ball. It just was not great at all, and it's nothing personal, but we just look very, very just flat. And if we can sort of get out of that flatness, we could be getting better, but it does leave me a little bit worried when we play the bigger teams such as Millwall, and with that sort of expectation that we should be fighting for the playoffs and the automatic promotion area this season. It does leave me very, very worried. But we've got 45 more games to change it around, and to be honest, if we can do it, that would be fantastic. But it just doesn't look confident enough in that opening game for me personally. But it does leave me questioning what everyone else thinks in the comments below on what they thought of this opening game of the season. That sort of hype was there, but it wasn't enough, I would say. And yeah, it's just how it goes, sadly, and that's football for you. But yeah, as long as we can improve on the attacking front in sort of the second half and sort of stop this. We seem to dominate in the first half and just seem to make nothing of it. If we can convert our chances, then that would be so successful if we can do that. And yeah, it was a very sort of disappointing game, let's just say. And if we can replicate what we did against MK Dons, you know, we could look absolutely on fire. But yeah, it's a very different display to how we saw it in the Carabao Cup, and I did not expect at all we were going to score 4 goals up against West Brom, but I thought we could perform a similar sort of display up against them. But it does show the reality of the Championship and how difficult it is going to be this coming season. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. As Norwich City lose 2-1 at home up against West Bromwich Albion, who looked absolutely fantastic today, with Isaac Price being sort of my man in the match when it comes to his creativity in the box today for West Brom. But yeah, that's how the cookie grumbles, as Jim Carrey does say. Thank you very much for watching. Come on, Yellows. Let's have a better follow one in the season. I'll make a preview video to the Millwall game, as we do look set to face them in a very poor form for the opening game of the season. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below as Norwich City lose 2-1 to West Bromwich Albion at home. Thank you very much. Come on, Yellows. Cheers and goodbye.